Good morning. Welcome, everybody. Namaste. It's nice to be back and to join you all for this final set of readings. And good morning to those of you that are new to my channel. My name is Sadhana, and I'm an intuitive reader, and I've been doing a series of readings for your tarot card for 2023. The intention with these readings is to support the energy of the card that may be your focus for this year ahead, according to the Gregorian calendar. This is also an energy that you may wish to initiate at your solar return at your date of birth. I also want to say that so in total, there will be 22 readings that will be available on this playlist, and the playlist is linked in the description box below. And today I am doing readings for the 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first 4 major arcana cards. And these will not be your card of the year. They may, however, be your tarot card that is associated with your life path, your birth number, something like that. A lot of people use these cards throughout the year as cards of focus. And being the first cards in the major arcana, they have a deep connection to self. And so I'm really happy to do readings for these cards. I'm using the same spread that I used last week. And then after I do that, I will take a short break, and I will be back at 12:30 to talk about some of the insights, the repeating cards that came up, why I think they may be repeating. One that we can be looking for now today is the Daughter of Cups to see if she makes a reappearance. And I'll just mention a couple of these before I start. Hopefully I have my list open. All right, so besides the Daughter of Cups, who showed up no fewer than 3, 4, 5, 7 times in 7 readings last week, the Four of Flames was a lot. So there was 4 different readings. The Four of Flames came up, as well as the 5 of Feathers and the 2 of Coins. So these were all repeating cards a lot. So we'll talk about the meaning of these cards and why they may be showing up in a chariot here. But let's get to the reading for the Magician, and I want to welcome all of you. It's lovely to have you here. Sharon, we have a new member as well too, so I hope that you're able to join some of our live chats. And I want to thank everyone that's participated in terms of membership and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. I'll talk a little bit about upcoming courses as well too later. Welcome to Donna and Karen. Hello, Karen. Saskia, good evening to you. Saskia is in Corfu in Greece. And who else is here this morning? Dee is here. Dee is in the UK. Welcome. And hello to Vange. And I never quite, are you in Spain? Oh my, I don't know why I can't remember where you live. I need to implant this in my brain. So welcome to all of you. All right. And I do need to do a little bit of shuffling. The cards are on the table. So let's talk about the Magician card while I shuffle and prepare the other suits. Probably we'll be starting with the one that's in hand, Magic. This, the Margaret Peterson Tarot has a different look than a traditional Magician card. We see the face, we see the mask. There is a very powerful, now I don't know what you see in the artwork, but there's a few things that that come to mind. And one is the red streak that comes out of the mouth of the mask. Very powerful prana. There's something about this energy that moves down here. We also, and I don't know if you can see this, but I see a fishtail here, almost as if there is an energy moving through in the front of the mask. Now, this mask also has a dark moon and a full moon component to it, which is really, really cool. So that would be your symbology. You're in Brazil. Okay, I am Brazilian, living in Boulder, Colorado, and moving. Oh my goodness. Okay, no wonder I can't remember where you're from. But I'm going to write it down if I think about that later. Thank you, Vange, for sharing that. There's just something about this card that is highly mysterious, and also at the same time, this card feels a little more magical than a magician card. I feel a connection to the potential of magic within all of us, for sure. So let's go to the fire card, and I'll start to build in the suits. So we have the Sun of Flames, which is a very active card and pairs beautifully with the magic. So in a 7-year, this is going to be a very powerful energy. This is going to ask you to, what a great mess. I should keep my eye off the chat. It's so fascinating. Do you know, I have to tell you something that happened towards the end of the readings, and I'm not sure what reading it was, but there is a song, and I'm not going to get the artist. It might be Jason Mraz, maybe. And it's called What a Beautiful Mess This Is. And in terms of just the world in general, the world, life, living in the third dimension. And I always love, not the lyrics of the whole song, but just that one line. And when Vange typed that, I was thinking of that. The magician. I want to say that the magician likes the mess. The magician kind of thrives in the messiness of life and loves to play with its qualities. And in a chariot year, I hope that if this is your life path number, if this is a card that is of focus to you, that you would really embrace that playful energy, the youthful rookie energy, and not get too wrapped up in the perfection of the performance. Because sometimes I feel there is and if you think about the magicians of old, the magicians who were training in the great societies that founded many of these tarot decks, there probably was a pressure to ascend to the next level, to perfect a certain thing. And I actually do have one magician friend who is a professional magician. And the trials and the tribulations that he has been through to excel in this profession are really something. And so I want to encourage you to remember why you got into this in the first place. Now, I'm not sure what it is you got into. Spirit is asking you to be wide open to possibilities, and perhaps, especially in a chariot year, in changing directions. This is your water card. We have 3 of Cups. So when I turn that card over, one of the things there's a few things that come to mind. Sorry, there's a couple of shadows here this morning. Still not fully lit in the front window. One is the growth and development of emotion in terms of what it is you are creating and putting together. And for some reason, I was talking about the pressure and the performance, but I think there's something to the remembering why you started this. And I have a feeling that some of you are leaning to the relationship side of things. And I think playfulness is one of the best medicines that can take us in a fresh direction. It can let go. It can help us to let go of expectations, which I really feel is going to serve this year if this is your card. Now, there's something funny that's going on here. when I look at this card, I get notes of High Priestess because of the black moon and the dark moon. And I think I even spoke to that a moment ago. And then I'm remembering that this is indeed the Magician card. So there are these qualities of our darkness, our depth, the profoundness of our feminine energy illuminated by our power and our masculine energy. And so take all of this with you this year. And that is indeed the message of the Chariot card. And the Chariot doesn't want you to leave any part of yourself behind. The chasm shrinks as you step across. We haven't had this card yet. This card really struck me as I was going through the walkthrough. I did a walkthrough of the Kantaji Oracle on Wednesday. And if you haven't seen it, this is truly amazing. It's an amazing deck. The chasm shrinks as you step across. So as you face your challenges, as you face the development of career, relationship, whatever the focus is for this year, know that there is a leap of faith that is absolutely necessary. This is a really interesting comment. I want to respond to this. The magician revels in his or her negative capabilities, a term coined by Keats. So let's expand on what that means and what negative refers to. So negative space, negative light. Think about the negative of in the way that film used to be developed. And this has to do with the art of working with negative space and what the greatness of the possibilities that come from the darkness. Perhaps our greatest performances can happen when we maximize the use of negative space. So this is a conversation that I've had a few times this year that this has arisen. Hi, Kristen. And that is that negative tends to have a connotation of bad. And when I think in terms of the tarot, negative has so many possibilities. So negative refers to the opposite of positive. It is the darkness. It is the dark moon. It is the shadow of Scorpio. And all these aspects of self that spirit is asking us to bring forth and accept and love and not be so attached to the can I say the ups and downs of life, but the truth that if we were to understand and love, I think love is a perfect word here. If we were to love our negative space, let's use that word, then life would be easier. Life would flow much more easily. Okay, now I quickly popped in and out Vanja's comment, and I didn't even read it because it wasn't the one I was focusing on. She was talking to Donna. What a year for beginning with change. Holy Chariot. Ah, okay. Well, you really are an international woman. Oh my goodness. You really are. Wow. All right, let's go on with Keats's explanation of this quote. Inspired by Shakespeare's work, Keats describes it as being in uncertainties, mysteries, doubts, without any irritable reaching after fact and reason. This sounds so left brain. And yet I don't want to retract anything I just said because this is all one in the same. And we struggle with this. we all struggle with this, and that is that it is an aspect, and in balance, it is half of us. We are half negative. We are half dark in our wholeness, in our perfect balance. And there is no perfect, we are never perfectly 50-50 black and white, but we are striving towards an understanding of bringing both forward. Mhm. Now, where does the mind fit into this story of the magician? And I also want to go back to that, the chasm there, and the fact that if we trust that chasm will become smaller, and isn't that the part of the work of the magician, is to lean into trust. And as soon as I turn that card reminds me so much of Indiana Jones, number 3, where he steps out to cross the chasm, where he goes into the inner chamber, the cave, where he makes the choice about the cup, the Holy Grail. Sorry, had to mention that. Always movie references from Sadhana. Peace. Okay, so we have the card of peace for the mind. Also inner wisdom. And this feels really supportive. Very, very supportive. Especially, I want to say, in knowing that your great work. Now, if you are reading this card, if you are taking this reading and applying this to you who have a life path number 1, a birth card number 1, the intention here is for the next 12 months ahead, and what is going on right now. And so part of the work of the magician is the not separating. It's walking your talk. It's living your path. And so we're always in this place where we are looking, both simultaneously looking in and looking without. And this really does help to give you focus and direction. I often, when I'm talking to clients who are working in the healing arts, who are intuitives, who maybe high priestess or two, there's this challenge of being here. And I think the peace comes from not fighting the being here, and knowing that you can be here exactly as you are. And the truth is that you are always looking within for some part of your day, some part of your being is always looking within. Ishika, hello, namaste, welcome to you. All right, let's see which Tulku Tarot supports the Two of Feathers. Sun, 3 and 2. The eye, of course, the eye. This is, there couldn't be a more perfect match for this message. The eye that looks within, and the eye that looks without. And so keep that in mind. And I think that's also part of the black mask and the white mask. And there's something about what Dee said, and the fact that the black mask is forward. And I feel that some of you in this life path are So if you're working with design, you're working on the computer, and you are, say, a graphic designer, and there's always that choice about what to bring forward and what to send back as far as layers go. You are a master of layers. And you can also take this as a metaphor, depending on what it is, where your life is at this point. But the layers, oh, we have two suns. Okay, cool. Very driven, a very driven year. The nights, the suns, they are on quests. They are living their purpose. And so this feels as a year of unlimited possibilities, but also one where you could find tremendous success if you trust in your gifts and not be too distracted by those who doubt. Those, odd message coming through, but those who doubt really simply don't understand. And it may manifest as a level of jealousy. We have Hunter of Death for your shaman. And I'm struck by the parallel in the mask that's on this card with the mask on the Magician card. Hunter of Death seeks this is interesting. I'm feeling, again, there's a darkness to this. There's a darkness. There's a darkness to there's a pulse to stepping into the darkness and an attraction to darkness, an attraction to dark magic and mystery. And if you have been leaning away from this, perhaps this embracing this and diving into the darkness is the way, is the path to your creative success in 2023. And I'm going to read for you the poem, the message from the Hunter of Death. This is a really cool synergy of cards showing up for the Magician. I am the Hunter of Death. I seek the change that comes with new directions and new possibilities. I am not one who breaks or destroys, but one who builds and restores. I will help you to climb beyond the stasis of everyday life and into the place where all potential awaits you. I am death only to dullness and routine. And when you choose to walk, and when you choose me to walk with, I can show you inspiring ways to changing your old life for a new one. Step courageously into the darkness this year. The Chariot will support you. There is a momentum that has already begun, and you have stepped away from some sort of a binding. And while the Chariot and several of these other cards invite balance, and we always want to keep that in mind, fearlessly step into the darkness this year. It is what will support you. Okay. Thank you. I will do a quick reset and I will be back for the High Priestess. Namaste.